Rahul Gandhi today tweeted about listening to Gen Z, their hopes, their struggles, their future. But while leaders talk, India's youngest voters are already showing their power. The results of the Delhi University Student Union elections are out, and they are telling us something bigger than just who runs the campus. Because let's be clear, these are not just student polls. When attention is the biggest currency, Gen Z becomes the biggest vote bank. Campus politics becomes national politics in miniature of sorts. And if you thought it's just Delhi, we are just getting excited because it's happening right here. Hold on. Remember Nepal? Right across the border in Nepal, Gen Z has already shaken up governments, driven protests, rewritten political playbook completely. That same restlessness, the same demand to be heard is now being echoed in Indian universities as well. From TikTok to Insta, from matcha cafe debates to ballot box, this is a generation that grew up online but is now flexing its muscle offline as well. So today we ask, if Nepal's Gen Z can move mountains, what do Delhi University results tell us about the future of Indian politics? Is this just about campus power, or is this a trailer of politics to come, of election results to come as well? But first up, let's tell you what exactly happened in those DUSU elections. Well, it is that ABVP has now won 3 out of the 4 positions at DUSU. It's the short form for Delhi University Student Union. It is one of the most closely watched campus polls in recent years. The student wing of the BJP, that's ABVP, swept the DUSU elections, winning 3 out of the 4 key positions of the President, Secretary and Joint Secretary. Aryan Maan, a sort of most talked about but also in some way controversial. I'll tell you why. ABVP candidate has won the presidential post. He's defeated NSUI's Josal Chaudhary. The new DUSU president has also promised subsidized metro passes, free Wi-Fi of course, and accessibility of accounts and audits for persons with disability, and also promised better sporting facilities. Kunal Chaudhary of the BJP has won the secretary's post in DUSU, while ABVP's Deepika Jha is the new joint secretary. Rahul Jha has been the lone bright spot, as they say, for NSUI by securing the vice presidential post. So in all, 3 out of 5 for ABVP, that's BJP, and 1 for NSUI, which is the Congress. But if you think that we are putting perhaps too much importance to these Delhi University polls, here's a thought for you. Think of all the big leaders that we have in our times. Almost all come from campus politics. The most prominent leaders of our time also, incidentally, come from Delhi University. They were all DUSU presidents or DUSU office bearers at some point. And we thought it would be interesting to give you a glimpse of that. Arun Jaitley, perhaps the most talked about politicians, right? Active during the JP movement, jailed during emergencies, senior BJP leader, former finance minister, of course, key architect of GST and demonetization reforms, comes from DUSU. Rekha Gupta used to be the DUSU president from 96 to 97, one of the few women to lead DUSU actually. Currently, she's the Delhi chief minister. Vijay Goyal was a DUSU president back in 1977, known for his defiance during emergency, minister of state under the Vajpayee government. But it's not just BJP. Ajay Makhan, DUSU president back in 1985. He knows a few things about campus politics. Rose quickly within the Congress ranks, held portfolio of youth affairs, urban development as well, served in both Delhi and central governments. Vijender Gupta was also the DUSU vice president back in 1984. Rose through Delhi municipal and legislative politics, became the speaker for Delhi Assembly as well. Known for his long-term grassroots engagement, which all started from the campus. Ashish Sood used to be the DUSU joint secretary back in 87, president in 88-89. He's obviously another very prominent BJP leader in Delhi, home and education minister in the current government as well. Alka Lamba, earlier in the Aam Aadmi Party, now with the Congress Party, which was the party where she contested her elections as well. 1995, she was the DUSU president of the All India Mahila Congress as well, vocal on youth and women's issues till date. All right. So that's a little bit of a background on what makes these campus elections so exciting, but also sometimes very worrying. Let me tell you about both those aspects, and let's bring our reporters to give us more dope on this. Anmol Bali is with us. He's live from the North Campus in Delhi University. Also with us is Sushant Mehra, live from the North Campus. Anmol, let me come to you first. Anybody who's covered Delhi University elections, like you, like me, knows that it is no child's play, knows that it can get really intense, knows that the entire way in which elections are fought in India, that means freebies, promises, a lot of people campaigning, celebs doing it. It all starts with the campus. And for those of our viewers who don't know, I remember the time when I used to cover Delhi elections. There used to be free pizzas, free delivery of Coke cans, free movies, free concerts, and the rest of the stuff that is perhaps unparliamentary to even speak about on national television that used to go around. Has it changed at all? Or is it just the same old playbook? Because this time I saw Sanjay Dutt, Sonu Sood, Randeep Hooda actually come out with campaigning speeches for some of the candidates.
Sonal, nothing has changed, but yeah, this year the elections were low-key because of the directions of Honorable High Court of Delhi. We have seen that people were sharing reels about that, how they are given movie theatre tickets and how they are offered very lucrative things for their vote in the DUSU elections. All political parties do this, but this year the printed posters were not seen in this DUSU elections, and even the pamphlets. Students were only allowed to use the handmade pamphlets, the handmade posters. But yeah, both political outfits, Akhil Bharatiya Vidyarthi Parishad of RSS and NSui, the Congress Student Union, have both accused each other of freebies, of giving money, cash, liquor, movie tickets, amusement park tickets for the vote. Even we have seen that Congress has accused the ABVP, means that the NSui has accused ABVP of EVM tampering. But on the other hand, now ABVP is saying that this is answer to Rahul Gandhi's yesterday's statement about the Gen Z, that Gen Z should bring change to India, and now they are saying that this is Gen Z's mandate and this is answer to Rahul Gandhi's statement. So now politics is escalating on this. We have also seen that leaders like Amit Shah, Virender Sachdeva and various other leaders, those who have started their political journey from the campus politics, like you were talking about Ashish Sood and various other, Rekha Gupta and various other leaders, those who are have plum and prominent posts in the Delhi in the central government, have started their journey from the college politics, from the university politics, are congratulating the candidates, those who have won the election. But yeah, according to ABVP, they will be analyzing that why they lost the vice president position, and they will be working on other campus elections also.
Right. Sushant Mehra is also with us. Sushant, लोग शायद ये जानते नहीं हैं, पर जो कैंपस इलेक्शंस होते हैं वो बहुत कुछ नेशनल इलेक्शंस जैसे ही होते हैं. हमारे पास टिपिकल कुछ कम्युनिटी से कैंडिडेट्स आगे रखे जाते हैं. उन कैंडिडेट्स की या तो पॉलिटिकल बैकिंग होती है, या तो सरकार या तो उनकी फैमिलीज का ऐसा बैकअप रहता है कि वो आके पॉलिटिक्स ज्वाइन करते हैं. तो बहुत अलग नहीं है, जो बहुत एक तरह से सैड है, राइट? यू एक्सपेक्ट कैंपस पॉलिटिक्स में डिबेट्स होते होंगे, एक्चुअल कैंडिडेट्स जो किसी कोई बैकग्राउंड नहीं है वहां से आते होंगे, पर ऐसा होता नहीं है, और इस बार भी शायद ऐसा था नहीं.
देखिए सोनल, ये इत्तेफाक है, क्योंकि हर बार जब DUSU के चुनाव होते हैं तो जो कैंडिडेट खड़ा होता है उसका पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड कहीं ना कहीं से बिलोंग जरूर करता है, चाहे वो किसी भी कॉलेज का हो या फिर वो पूरी तरीके से फाइनल जो कैंडिडेट्स होते हैं उनमें भी सिलेक्शन जो होता है वो पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड से ही किसी न किसी का रिलेशन होता है. और जो जीत करके आता है उसका पॉलिटिकल करियर भी जो है वो तेजी के साथ बढ़ता है. और यही वजह है कि लोग स्टूडेंट पॉलिटिक्स में आना बहुत इजी वे समझते हैं ताकि नेशनल पॉलिटिक्स में जा सके. अरुण जेटली, अजय माकन, अलका लांबा, रागिनी नायक, रेखा गुप्ता, ये सब प्रेसिडेंट्स रहे हैं दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर जब DUSU के चुनाव होते थे 1996 में, 1976 के अंदर अरुण जेटली. तो स्टूडेंट पॉलिटिक्स से ही देश की अलग राजनीति का जो एक रूपरेखा जो है वो तैयार होती है. अलग अलग लीडर्स जो हैं वो इस चुनावों के अंदर कैंपेनिंग करते हुए नजर आते हैं. नेशनल लीडर्स सचिन पायलट, इसके अलावा रागिनी नायक, बॉलीवुड स्टार संजय दत्त, रणदीप हुड्डा, ये सब इस बार जो दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का चुनाव था उसमें कैंपेनिंग करते हुए नजर आए. खास बात ये रही कि इस बार सोशल मीडिया का, क्योंकि हाईकोर्ट का आदेश था हैंडमेड जो पैम्पलेट्स है उसका इस्तेमाल कर सकते थे, प्रिंटिंग पैम्पलेट्स का इस्तेमाल नहीं कर सकते थे, कई सारे जो गाइडलाइंस थी उनको फॉलो करना था, सेलिब्रेशंस आप नहीं कर सकते थे।
सुशांत, मुझे एक बात बताइए, मैं आई एम इंटरप्टिंग यू बिकॉज हमारे पास कुछ वीडियोस भी हैं, उनकी रील्स वगैरह जो एनएसयूआई और एबीवीपी ने निकाली थी। आई रिक्वेस्ट माय प्रोड्यूसर्स टू पुट दोज अप एज वेल। एंड मैं जानना चाहती हूँ कि ये जो प्रेसिडेंट का इलेक्शन जीते हैं आर्यन मान, उनके नाम पर काफ़ी कंट्रोवर्सी चली कि उनके फादर की एक लिकर ब्रांड है, वो लिकर बहुत सर्कुलेट करा गया, ये सब एलिगेशन है, मैं बताना चाहती हूँ। और फिर एनएसयूआई ने इसको काउंटर करते हुए ये वाला वीडियो अब जो स्क्रीन पर चल रहा है चलाया, उन्होंने बॉटल्स उसी ब्रांड की तोड़ी जाकर कि सो इट बिकेम लाइक वेरी वेरी अगली इलेक्शन। तो ये जो नाम है आर्यन मान का, आप कहेंगे कि कंट्रोवर्शियल रहा? अभी भी ये सवाल उठ रहे हैं उनसे?
देखिए जाहिर तौर पर, क्योंकि जब एनएसयूआई की ज्योत्सना नवीन चौधरी जो है वो खड़ी हुई थी, उसको लेकर के एनएसयूआई की तरफ से ये कहा गया था कि 17 साल बाद जो है एनएसयूआई ने एक फीमेल कैंडिडेट को प्रेसिडेंट पोस्ट पे जो है वो उतारा है। और कहीं ना कहीं आर्यन मान को लेकर के एक फीमेल कैंडिडेट के सामने प्रेसिडेंट की पोस्ट पर एबीवीपी को उतारना और चुनाव जिताना एक काफी टफ इलेक्शन जो है वो था। लेकिन उसी को लेकर के एनएसयूआई ने जो है उनके फादर का जो है इस्तेमाल जो है वो पूरे इलेक्शन में जो कैंपेनिंग के दौरान किया, किस तरीके से आर्यन मान का जो बैकग्राउंड है वो एक लिकर जो ब्रांड है उसके साथ किस तरीके से जुड़ा हुआ है, युवाओं में किस तरीके से लिकर को लेकर के एक कैंपेनिंग जो है वो होती हुई नजर आई कि इसका विरोध जो है वो हो। लेकिन आर्यन मान का जो कैंपेनिंग थी, कल जब वोटिंग हो रही थी उस दौरान हमने कई सारे स्टूडेंट से बात करी, उनका ये साफ तौर पे कहना था कि आर्यन मान का बैकग्राउंड बेशक कुछ हो, लेकिन उनका जो मुद्दे थे वो डिलीवरी करने में वो बहुत आसान रहा। उन्होंने कनेक्ट किया स्टूडेंट्स के साथ, और जो एनएसयूआई की जसलीन चौधरी थी वो कनेक्ट उस तरीके से नहीं कर पाई। अगर वो कनेक्ट कर पाती तो शायद एनएसयूआई की जीत जो है वो होती, लेकिन जीत का मार्जिन एक काफी बड़े डिफरेंस के साथ आर्यन मान की तरफ से जो भी कैंपेनिंग हुई, चाहे लग्जरी गाड़ियां का इस्तेमाल करा गया, डोर टू डोर कैंपेनिंग, और बहुत बड़े लेवल पे जो है वो
सेलिब्रिटीज का इस्तेमाल किया
वहीं
गया।
अगर बात करें एबीवीपी की ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी दीपिका झा, उनकी तरफ से सेलिब्रिटीज का संजय दत्त ने उनके लिए कैंपेनिंग करी, उस पर भी एनएसयूआई ने सवाल खड़े करे। वहीं अगर बात की जाए दीपिका झा जो कि ज्वाइंट सेक्रेटरी के पद पर जीती है, उनका जीत का जो मार्जिन है वो बेहद कम है, यानी उनकी तरफ से जो कैंपेनिंग थी वो बेहद कम थी, लेकिन जो स्टूडेंट्स का रुझान था वो सीधे तौर पर एबीवीपी को लेकर के था। और कल जिस तरीके से जेनजी को लेकर के राहुल गांधी का बयान आया, आज बीजेपी ने उस पर पलटवार कर दिया कि राहुल गांधी जेनजी की जो बात कर रहे हैं, देश के जो युवा जो कॉलेज के फर्स्ट ईयर सेकंड ईयर के अंदर जेनजी कॉलेजेस के अंदर एडमिशंस लेते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटीज के अंदर एडमिशन लेते हैं, उन्होंने जवाब जो है वो दे दिया।
जी, Sushant, Anmol, thank you both for joining us and giving us an insight into what campus elections are all about. We've got some updates on this story. Let's take a look at that. Now, the new Delhi University Student Union President, Secretary and Joint Secretary have spoken with India today. We'll just play that out for you. They go on to talk about, of course, Aryan Maan is the most talked about. He's the president now of DUSU. He said that many times the presidential candidates of NSUI level personal charges on me, but we stayed focused on our work. Proving free Wi-Fi and metro passes to students will be our top priority. Listen in.
तो मेरे परिवार ने मेरे को संस्कार दिए किसी के भी निजी जीवन पर उंगली नहीं उठाना, बट फिर भी सामने वाले एनएसयूआई के जो अध्यक्ष पद के उम्मीदवार थे उन्होंने मेरे पे कई बार उंगली उठाई, मैं फिर भी चुप रहा। और आज मैंने अपनी जीत से उनको ये दिखा दिया है कि वो बड़ी बड़ी बातें करती थी कि इसके पास कुछ नहीं है, ये नहीं, फिर भी आज मैंने उनको दिखा दिया है कि मैं आज दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का अध्यक्ष हूँ और 16,000+ वोटों से मेरे को दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी के स्टूडेंट्स ने जिताया। हमारी सबसे पहली मांग रहेगी मेट्रो कंसेशन पास। साथ ही साथ आज के टाइम इंडिया इतना डिजिटलाइज हो चुका है, फिर भी दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी में वाईफाई की प्रॉब्लम है कैंपस डिपार्टमेंट कॉलेजेस के अंदर। और तीसरी हमारी मांग रहेगी मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज़ के ऊपर कि हर कॉलेज में एक मेंटल हेल्थ काउंसलर का गठन हो, जिससे स्टूडेंट्स को किसी प्रकार की दिक्कत हो तो वो उससे शेयर करे और वो डिप्रेशन, एंग्जाइटी और स्ट्रेस का शिकार ना बने।
जेनजी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए मैं जो उन्होंने राहुल गांधी ने जवाब दिया है उनके लिए मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा, जो जेनजी स्टूडेंट्स उन्होंने ये दिखा दिया है कि दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय के छात्र कोई जेनजी स्टूडेंट नहीं, एक राष्ट्रवादी छात्र हैं। उन्होंने ऐसा होता है कि कुछ स्टूडेंट्स रहते हैं पर ये नहीं कि सारे स्टूडेंट जेनजी हों। उन्होंने एक राष्ट्रवादी अपना संगठन के लिए और राष्ट्रवाद अपना काम करने के लिए संगठन को चुन के हमें प्रायोरिटी पर रख के विजय बना दिया।
हमारे मैनिफेस्टो में हमने बहुत सारे पॉइंट्स लिखे थे, उसमें से मेरी प्राथमिकता ये रहेगी कि जितने भी कॉलेज हॉस्टल्स हैं, गर्ल्स हॉस्टल्स हैं, कॉलेज हॉस्टल्स हैं, इनके बाहर टाइम टू टाइम पीसीआर पेट्रोलिंग हो, ताकि छात्राएं अपने आप को सेफ महसूस करें इस दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में। दूसरा, दिल्ली विश्वविद्यालय में जितने भी ब्लैक स्पॉट्स हैं जहां पर रात को छात्राएं जाने से, दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी कैंपस में निकलने से घबराती हैं, उन ब्लैक स्पॉट्स को खत्म करने का काम विद्यार्थी परिषद ABVP लेड DUSU करेगा।
The iPhone fever hit India hard this morning. Apple stores across the country opened doors at 8 a.m., but the frenzy amongst the buyers started much earlier. With midnight campaigns, sleeping bags, buyers queued up hours before the sales even began. At the Mumbai Apple store in BKC's Geo Center, the excitement quickly turned into pure chaos. Look at those pictures over there. Even a few punches were thrown. Actual fist fighting broke out, and they were not Android Apple fans. They were all Apple fans, funny enough. Actually, just to sort of get their hands on the Apple iPhone first. Can you imagine a frenzy like that? Actual fist fighting broke out as the fans scrambled to get their hands on the new iPhone 17 and the iPhone Air. The crowds of restless buyers were also seen shoving and shouting officials. They had to step in, escort a few buyers even out. The lines were equally large at other locations as well. Outside the Apple store at Select City Walk in Delhi, buyers camped out all night. Look at those. Those are from last night. This is even before sunrise, and look at those queues. Some arrived as early as 1 a.m. The queue spanned across 2 floors of the mall. The hype was so high that a few buyers had called in sick at work just to be there for the launch. I don't know how to make sense of that at all. And it wasn't just Delhi and Mumbai. The situation was similar in other Apple stores in India too. Stores in Bengaluru even, and interestingly, in UP, in Lucknow, remained flooded with buyers through the day. Clearly for a few, getting their hands on the new iPhone is worth losing a night's sleep, or even getting a black eye, or getting an earful from your boss. So let's understand what this frenzy is all about. Joining us is Shivani Sharma. She is live with us from Delhi. Dipesh is live with us from Mumbai. And with me in the studio is Cyrus John. Cyrus has just come back. And Cyrus, what is that you've got in your hand again?
Oh, this device that people were going crazy about, by the way, this is the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I don't think people really are concerned about what is inside of the device, Sonal. I think it's the outside that's caught a lot of attention, because people are just going nuts about this color, and it's been almost sold out. Remember, this color, by the way, can be ordered online, but people, it's just crazy that they're lining up outside of stores and midnight hate, but they're still there. And I'm sure that by the end of the day, Apple will confirm that this color particularly has been sold out. By the way, viewers, there are 2 more colors, so don't feel them left out. I mean, that's just...
You stop being such an advocate of iPhone, okay, One? We will discuss all of this in just a bit. Let's also get some real-life action coming in from our colleagues on the ground. Shivani Sharma is with us. Shivani, you are at Saket. वहाँ पर तो काफ़ी गर्मा गर्मी हो गई, as they say, एक फ़ोन को लेकर. So I want to understand, have you managed to speak to some of these Apple owners? I mean, I'm just trying to make sense of the story. We talk about unemployment numbers. We talk about the fact that there is rising GST. We talk about the fact that salaries are not matching up with rising inflation. And yet people are buying a 2 lakh rupee phone. They're lining up like this.
Sonal, see, it's not about the frenzy, but it's about the aspiration, the status it connects with it, and also how the space of Apple is growing in Indian market. I'll keep showing you the pictures also. I'm right now at one of the stores where people have gathered since morning. They are buying this new phone which has launched today. So all of them seem to be quite exciting with their new purchase, and some are still waiting for their turn to come, as we've seen that the crowds have emerged on all the Apple stores, not only of the national capital but also in Mumbai, where a tussle had broken out. I'll just try and speak to one of the proud owners of this Apple iPhone 17. आपने ये फोन खरीदा है, कैसा लग रहा है?
बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है मैम, काफी टाइम से वेट कर रहे थे, बहुत पहले बुकिंग करवाई थी, बट जो सोचा था कलर ऑप्शन मिल जाएंगे बट वो नहीं मिला.
अच्छा, कलर्स नहीं मिले आपको, कौन सा कलर चाहिए था, आप दिखा सकते हो जो?
हाँ मैं दिखा सकता हूँ, एक बार फोन दिखाइए सर। मैंने लिया है 17 प्रो, इसमें मुझे एक्चुअली अभी ओपन नहीं करा, अभी ओपन करेंगे, उसमें मिला वक्त इसमें है कि अपना मतलब स्टॉक नहीं मिल पाया प्रॉपर, क्यों काफी सारे स्टॉक मतलब शॉर्ट है।
कौन सा आपने लिया इसका model?
ये ब्लू लिया है 17 प्रो 256 GB मैंने लिया।
कितने का मिला?
ये 1,34,900 का प्राइस है, इस पे 4,000 का डिस्टेंट डिस्काउंट है, प्लस केयर प्लस भी करवाया मैंने इस पे।
तो इतना एक्साइटमेंट और इतनी लाइकिंग?
क्योंकि मैम फोन तो आईफोन कौन नहीं चाहता, कैमरा अच्छा है, इनका सिक्योरिटी पर्पस अच्छा है और काफी चीजें एडवांस होती है इनके अंदर और ये चीज रहती है।
You see, Sonal, this is the first choice of especially those people who've been using an iPhone and they wait desperately for the new models, as we know, the new features. Here, this is the complete desk for iPhone 17. Here you see people are exploring these phones. They want to see and check the features. And if I may try and speak to some more people, आप यहाँ पर क्या explore कर रहे हैं? नया iPhone आया है, क्या आप भी interested हैं?
यस आई एम इंटरेस्टेड।
क्यों इतना पसंद है iPhone?
इसकी सेफ्टी क्वालिटी अच्छी है, इसकी बहुत सारी वैरायटी है, अच्छा लगता है, इसके अंदर काफ़ी सारी फीचर्स हैं, ये डाटा लीक नहीं करते इस चीज़ को।
Most of them feel quite secure while they are using the iPhones and they wait for the new features that get launched with every new iPhone model, and that's what is the excitement all about. Sonal, you see how people are still here. They are here since morning. They've been waiting for their turn despite the fact they had booked their iPhones quite early. So this is what it looks like on ground while we are seeing these proud owners of iPhone 17 now on the first day of its launch.
Proud owners of an iPhone. At the end of the day, it is still a depreciating asset. I just want to put that on the table. But let me bring it, Desh, also. Desh, what about you? What is Mumbai feeling about it? And next time, I think when we ask somebody how much they have paid for the iPhone, let's also ask them their salary. Let's try and understand what percentage of the income is actually going in on a phone. At the end of the day, it is still a phone. Do you have some dope and some information for us?
Sonal, the iPhone 17 series went on sale across the country today, and the Mumbai iPhone store also saw extraordinary footfall. People had been camping overnight over here, and this morning, as you earlier also said, there was huge crowd over here, and there were scuffles that happened. Security had to intervene, and that is why now you can see behind me, this is the area where the queue was there. There was huge crowd in the morning. People had queued up since overnight. They had been waiting to get their hands on the new iPhone 17 series. But after the scuffle broke out, this area has been cleared by the security. People are not being allowed to wait in this area at the gate of the iPhone store. There are a few people inside the iPhone store right now, but most of the people who had pre-booked or who had come, who had been camping since overnight, have already taken their iPhone. They have their iPhone. They've purchased the iPhone 17 series, which starts from the iPhone 17, iPhone 17 Air, iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone 17 Pro Max, and the basic memory cap is of 256 GB. The memory starts at 256 GB. It has a superior display. That is what people are telling us. It has a 48 megapixel camera, and despite the heavy crowd that was there, despite the scuffles that broke out at Mumbai iPhone store this morning, this crowd still there inside the iPhone store, but for security reasons, we've been requested by the iPhone store management that the live cannot happen from inside the store because there might be overcrowding, and that could be another issue that could happen there. And that is why they requested us to do the live from the premises, but not inside the store.
Desh, thank you.
But there's
thank you
still
so
crowd
much
inside.
for joining us. Yeah. Thanks for that. Let me also bring in Cyrus now. Cyrus, this frenzy, I have no words. I have no words to explain or even understand what this means. I get it for people like perhaps you and me who live on our phones. Our job requires us to be on WhatsApp groups, on emails, on all social media platforms all the time. But what is this crazy? And let me start by saying this. You know, every time we do a story on Apple, the accusation is जब Samsung phone launch करता है तब तो आप ऐसी coverage नहीं देते. When Fold was launched, which is pretty much the biggest tech innovation we've seen in phones, we didn't go bonkers like this.
Right.
Because people didn't go bonkers like this. So what's happening? Is this orchestrated by Apple in some way? Let me just get that out of the way.
Yeah, I think it's a culture, Sonal, that has come in from the US. If you remember, when the iPhone started selling, this whole culture of lining up outside of the store started over there where people used to camp. And that culture slowly shifted to India. Now, remember, the Indian market is very important for Apple, which is why this sort of a frenzy is good PR in a way. They recently launched 2 stores, one in Bangalore and one in Pune. Now, why were the stores launched? Because of exactly this. So they're trying to expand their footprint. That's also one thing. But why this frenzy happens, you remember, now, this is an old company, but they have been innovating throughout. At the time Steve Jobs was there, the iPhone came in, the innovation started coming. But in the past couple of years, a lot of people say that innovation has indeed slowed down because
Yes,
other companies...
rightly so.
Yeah, other companies, like, they're getting their foldable phones, they are getting phones that can, run AI better. Apple has some work, some catching up to do, but in terms of the frenzy, in terms of the premium quality and that novelty that the brand brings, I think that is what attracts people. And in terms of innovation, yes, the color, I have seen some people just say, I want to buy the iPhone because of the color. And they're
We have some in the newsroom as well. I won't name them.
I just fear I might get mugged because this color is running out on the street, so I wouldn't want to be like brandishing it outside. But surprisingly, the other iPhones have been overshadowed.
But what's with the color? Just get a cover with that color, no? Like, what difference does it make? Come on.
So I would say it's a very jhatak color. A lot of the people in India are loving this, by the way, for unknown reasons, I wouldn't say. The white color and the blue color, this gentleman just said that he was forced to buy the blue color because the orange ones ran out. I'm sure his preferred choice would have been the orange color. So I think Apple would reconsider its production lines and make sure that they get more of these out. But I don't know why people don't understand. It's just not about the color. Have a look at what's inside the phone as well.
Okay, what's inside?
Okay.
Battery, which does not match any other phone that costs this much. AI that simply doesn't match any phone, or even a Google Pixel for that matter is so good with AI, and Apple is far, far behind on that tech. Right, Siri is like the grandmom of any kind of assistance anymore. Like I said, battery, chargers not there. Like, what's happening?
Yeah.
It's a story that I want a marketer to decode now. कि ऐसा क्या है Apple में कि सब कुछ खराब है फिर भी वही चाहिए.
Again, I'm not advocating for the brand in any way, but just stating what facts are. In terms of battery, Apple says that they have improved upon the battery. They are claiming 37 hours of video playback that has been enhanced. Now, I'm testing the device currently, the Pro Max especially. Yes, it is giving me more battery because of the battery size has been increased. They have enhanced the cooling system inside of the phone. This camera island that you see, it's a reason that they have done this because to accommodate more cooling systems, and also the camera has been bumped up. But a lot of people are concerned about the battery life on this phone, which is the iPhone Air. Now, this is the first time, by the way, Apple has like really thought out of the box and thought of a phone with a slim form factor. This one is pretty lightweight. It's garnering a lot of attention online, and people are talking about its battery life. I've been using it for a day, no problem at all. But yes, in terms of innovation, Sonal, that's the problem. When other companies are folding their phones, when other companies are bending their phones, Apple is still saying, okay, I will make my phones thinner. I think the fact that artificial intelligence, AI, has been really working like clockwork on all of the devices, like you mentioned, the Google Pixel and even the Samsung devices. That AI game is something that Apple really needs to work upon to make sure that it's just not about the hardware, but also the software, what you get inside.
How much did you pay for both the phone Cyrus?
Well, actually, I did not pay. These are review units that I'll be testing and I'm talking about it. But if you want to spend, this one costs about 1,20,000 in India for the 256 GB. And this one costs 1,90,000. This is the Pro Max. And it goes all the way up to 2
Can I just say you can buy a Cartier watch that in that price? And can I just say that will actually escalate in price. It will have like an asset. You can pass it down generations compared to a phone that is a depreciating asset. I just want to say that out loud, despite being the fact that I am also hooked onto Apple.
See, exactly.
I also use it.
You are using an Apple phone.
Yeah, but the point is not that. The point is I want Apple to do better. And I feel like these phones are not living up to that hype.
And
That's where I'm coming from.
correct, and that is hitting them, by the way, Sonal. It's not all hunky-dory for Apple. In the US, their market share has dropped.
Yes.
Where they were circulating around 58%, where they were dominating, it's now coming down. It's gone on down around 57%. In India, thankfully, they have been doing well year on year. Their sales have shot up. Part of the market share, around 23% of the revenue share is what Apple has right now, which is around 7 to 8% of the total phones sold in India. But again, this is the premium segment. Apple doesn't sell medium range or budget phones. And that's something that people, I think the fact that there is a lot of disposable income, people are getting a lot of these offers on their credit cards, 0% EMI. That's the reason.
Timing.
I don't think that people actually have the cash in their hand when they're going and lining up outside of these stores to buy the phones. It's all of these discounts and the opportunity to buy that's helping them.
I'm told we have to wrap up this discussion, but clearly Cyrus and I can go on all night and talk about what is wrong with Apple or perhaps what is not. But what do you think? Leave us comments. We are live on all our social platforms as well. But thanks, Cyrus. I'll come back and check that phone out in just a bit. But talking about trends, let's switch our focus to one that is a worrying one. Not too long ago, Sephora shelves were the domain for adults. But today, teenagers and kids talk about concealers like they're crayons. They name ingredients like niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, and retinol as casually as they talk about perhaps homework. Sephora has become the new generation's playground. This is the story that we really hope did not happen, but it did. So here's an explainer.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the reality of skincare today. At an age where getting their multiplication sums right is a challenge, these kids are doing something that you and I would have never done as 10, 12-year-olds. This is the generation of Sephora kids. Not too long ago, skincare shelves were the domain of adults, but today they're buzzing with teenagers and even younger kids who can reel off ingredient names like retinol and hyaluronic acid as casually as they can talk about cricket scores or homework. And Dr. Chaitra Vianand, founder of Cosmo Derma Clinics, is now with us. Thank you for your time. I want to ask you, why are we seeing this kind of obsession among kids? You know, what are the factors that in a way influence their decision or their choices when it comes to using these products? Dr. Chaitra.
Thanks for that question, Sneha, and I think it's very pertinent to ask these questions in this day and age. I think I put it down to exposure. You know, the kids today have the world at their fingertips, so to speak, you know, and everything is about consumption of content. It's also about what they see around themselves, right? Like people around them who is in their ecosphere. They're seeing, like young girls are seeing their moms putting on their makeup and they want to emulate their mom. And then they're also seeing their friends trying and testing these things out. And today all kids, even like not just tweens, right, like even like preteens, are on social media like YouTube especially, and Instagram and Pinterest, and all of this creates an ecosphere where they're looking at makeup, they're looking at trends, they're looking at mini kid influencers talking about products, and they want to fit in. And so I think that's where all of this is coming from.
At shopping malls and beauty counters, you'll find 11-year-olds filling their baskets with sheet masks, serums, cleansers, and the reason is simple: social media. On TikTok and Instagram, the so-called glass skin glow has become the new standard of cool, with influencers racking up millions of views as they show off 10-step routines that look more like science experiments than skincare. The rise of social media is the biggest factor behind this trend. Nearly half of Indian kids below 12 now spend as many as 4 hours daily on digital devices, whether for learning or for leisure. Dr. Kiran Sethi, Medical Director, ISDIA Aesthetics, is with us. Thank you for your time. The role of social media in sending out these messages to kids that, you know, this is how you're going to be more acceptable in society, among your peer, among your friends. That also is truly problematic, isn't it?
So peer pressure is nothing new, but social media amplifies realize it, because now it's not one person, it might be 1,000 people. It's not your 3 friends, it's 3,000 of their friends and friends going forward. So we now have amplified peer pressure using social media. And our gauge of reality is even more complex because we're not actually meeting people, ascertaining their facial expressions. It's all interpretation. And our brains, when we're younger, it's not developed to handle this.
Dermatologists are sounding the alarm, warning that many of these powerful products, especially anti-aging ingredients like retinol, can actually harm young skin that really only needs soap water and sunscreen. You know, Dr. Chaitra, I was asking you, what kind of basic care do kids really need for their skin? What are the basic things that parents can actually just take care of?
I think the answer is right there in your question. Basic need. All they need to do is cleanse their skin. Typically, you want to use a soap-free cleanser for young kids or a pH-balanced cleanser. That's all, a gentle cleanser with absolutely no actives in it. And second, sun protection. This is the only 2 things that kids require. Because, you know, the skin is in a growth phase. It heals itself. It's able to moisturize itself. It's able to take care of itself. The only time kids will need intervention is if they have a skin concern like eczema, which is extremely dry skin, or if they have early stage of acne like whiteheads and blackheads, which is when they need to see their skin doctor and get a prescription, not just try it or home remedies.
Market reports show India's teen and pre-teen skincare industry is growing at double digits, and brands are happily riding the wave, rolling out pastel-colored packaging, fruity fragrances, and campaigns that speak directly to kids. Data from Statista shows that the baby and child skincare market is expected to grow at 7.71% rate by 2028. The study further shows the market will reach $380 million and 160.7 million users worldwide by 2028. The global children's cosmetics market was valued at $1.72 billion in 2024, is projected to reach $2.34 billion by 2030, expanding at a CAGR of 5.26% during this period. You know, there's a big growth that we're seeing in the market for, you know, these products that are specifically targeted at kids to shape their decisions, really to get them to buy these products or get parents to buy these products for their kids. What do you attribute this to? You know, often it's being marketed as safe products, organic products, safe for kids. I did come across one such ad that said, you know, the makeup is so safe that you can actually eat it. So, you know, what do you have to say about this kind of marketing and the big boom that this sector really is seeing?
I'd love to see that marketing company make their own kids eat that makeup in the first place. But honestly, that's what it comes down to, right? Really, it's marketing and branding. And brands, we can't just blame brands. They're there to make money. It's a commerce, and they're going to do that. I mean, think about it, Sneha. The market is growing at a 10% annual compounded growth. That's crazy, right? Indian market is actually growing faster. Southeast Asia, India is the fastest growing market in kids' cosmetics compared to even the Western other markets. And why are they marketing this? Because they can market it, because there's no rules, no regulations, nothing. I mean, tomorrow you can open something and say, this is just 100% natural. But who's testing it? Who's saying it is natural? There is no regulation. So I think the government has to really clamp down on this, put in the regulations for all of this. And also, you know, there is some controls, but I think everybody finds a way around it.
You know, a lot of people talk about this. You know, what's really wrong with young girls to explore their mother's makeup, for example? We've all been there, done that in a sense, you know, and beauty routines to kind of follow them, to mimic them. But what really is different today, doctor, is that the powerful and widespread reach of the beauty industry targeting children specifically, isn't it? And online, these products are just available, like, and it's so easily available, and that's a big, big worry here.
So companies are spending millions of dollars targeting this particular population. They are very sensitive to advertising. They respond to whatever you tell them on YouTube. They respond to whatever you tell them on TikTok or Instagram, and they think that they need to do it. They don't have that prefrontal cortex developed to understand the difference between marketing and truth. It's unfortunate because children are the most vulnerable population, but they get the most marketed to. And companies know it. They are achieving those objectives. It's wrong.
And in India and outside, this obsession with skincare is for us to see. Brands are designing and selling products meant for young girls, promising that it is safe for their tender skin. Young girls are doing tutorials on how to put makeup right. This does not beg the question. When children start equating clear skin with self-worth, it can chip away at their confidence and body image. But convincing them of that is tough when their favorite influencer swears by serums and masks. And joining us right now is Dr. Bhavna Barmi, Senior Clinical and Child Psychologist. Thank you for your time. You know, we do know that makeup has deep impact on kids in terms of the immediate impact on their skin, which obviously is harmful. It's being said that it's designed in such a way that isn't harmful. But my question has got to do really with, you know, how this product or use of these products really harm children, you know, emotionally, mentally, psychologically, the kind of impact that it leaves on them, these impressions that they need to look a certain way, that this is what is going to define them at the end of the day. That truly, doctor, is problematic, isn't it?
You know, the rising trend of children, especially under the age of 12, buying and using makeup is not just a passing fashion fad. It's actually a growing mental health, public health, and a psychological concern. In fact, the cosmetics industry is aggressively targeting young consumers through social media influencers, YouTube tutorials, and playful packaging, creating a generation that is overly conscious. When children start using makeup too early, they may develop the belief that their natural appearance isn't good enough. This can lead to low self-esteem, body dissatisfaction, and a dependency, and sometimes even an addiction on using makeup to build up their esteem and confidence.
It is important to tell our kids that healthy skin doesn't come from a bathroom shelf full of bottles, and to remind children that perfect skin is not what defines them, and that more than any serum or toner may be the most important lesson really in skin care.